drug. One won't spill.
It is time now for Consumer Confidential with David Lazarus.
That's right. Laz is here in studio with us. First, we're talking about a New York Times investigation into the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, and this is a very big deal. First of all, let's give big props to the New York Times because they've been doing a lot of work on so-called pharmacy benefit managers. And if you don't know who those are the middlemen who ostensibly are hired by employers and insurers to negotiate with drug companies to bring down drug costs. At least that's what they're supposed to be doing. Past New York Times investigations have shown that, in fact, the PBMs inflate drug prices because they make their money by getting a little piece of the action. So the higher the price, the bigger their piece of the pie. The latest reporting from the Times shows that during the worst of the opioid epidemic, the PBMs reportedly were playing a big role in getting opioids out to the masses. In other words, what they were doing was, in response for, let's call them kickbacks from the drug companies, a big piece of the transactions, the PBMs in turn would put the opioids, addictive painkillers, onto the formularies of various insurers, making sure that they are favored and covered meds, thus making them more widely available. PBMs, in case you don't know, handle or oversee the prescriptions of about 200 million Americans. So these aren't small players here. And this is the latest example of how all the various layers of the U.S. healthcare system not just contribute to higher prices for patients, but also questionable practices that really don't help anybody except the various players involved, which is why we have the highest healthcare and prescription drug prices in the world. And in the case of the PBMs here, what makes this particularly troubling is, first of all, if they were indeed doing this, receiving kickbacks for making these opioids available, that's in itself shameful. But it's also a very, very clear example of how many aspects of the U.S. healthcare system place profits before patients. And that's a big problem. Overseas, you won't find this problem. Why? Because other developed countries all have Medicare for all style insurance systems that don't have middlemen, that don't have all these layers. The insurance system haggles with the provider and you get a fair price. We, on the other hand, have layer after layer after layer, and it's just getting worse.
You said it was shameful, but is it criminal?
I don't think so. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not in a good position to say that, but these companies are already negotiating with the drug companies themselves. So this is within their purview. And the fact that their entire incentive system rests on getting a piece of the action suggests that, well, they are incentivized economically and perhaps from a fiduciary standpoint to make these drugs widely available and facilitate these transactions. But look, these guys are industry players. They knew full well what was happening as these opioids were making the rounds. They should have known better.
Yeah, pretty unscrupulous.
Yeah.
This next topic, though, is something a lot different than healthcare, but nonetheless, you teased it earlier so eloquently.
Yeah, we were so impressed with your tease. Police officers wear body cameras, and now Walmart, smiling, welcome greeters. Is the retired gentleman welcoming me into the store going to wear a body camera?
Yeah, unpack it for us.
Maybe.
Okay, let's take a look at this. So this is another one of those sign of the times stories. And as I said earlier, cops are now wearing body cameras, soldiers wear body cameras, and now Walmart is reportedly testing them out as well. According to CNBC, Walmart is testing out having body cameras on store employees in Texas. And if this works out, there's a good chance Walmart will spread this now to other Walmarts nationwide. Keep in mind, Walmart is the nation's largest private employer and one of our very largest companies. So when Walmart does things, the rest of the retail industry takes notice. Other smaller retailers have also experimented with body cameras on staffers, but that was intended to deter shoplifting. In this case, according to CNBC, the Walmart employees will be wearing body cameras to protect themselves. From who? Customers. Consumers are growing increasingly unruly in the retail world, and Walmart is finding that their store workers are being harassed, especially around the holiday time. And CNBC quotes a union official in the retail sector as saying, not only is harassment of retail workers a problem, but it is getting even worse. So will having the body cams on the workers solve this problem? It's too early to say. But what I find really striking here is that we have gone from a situation where the customer is always right to the customer is potentially dangerous.
Wow. So the goal here is to prevent shoplifting, but also to report unruly
And deter.
And deter.
Right, so it's like having a Nest camera outside your house or a Ring camera, and maybe that'll deter the porch pirate or whatever. And yeah, there is a sense that surveillance could be the solution, at least from a shoplifting point of view, and obviously that's a huge problem. But the idea that Walmart employees feel threatened on the job and require this sort of measure to do this, and this raises privacy questions, of course. Will you have your privacy invaded by shopping at Walmart? Arguably, once you step through the door, well, you've waived any privacy right at that point, as long as they post that there are cameras in use. But that said, it's a sign of the times that I just find very troubling.
There's no longer the little conscience, like over someone's shoulder. It's like now a body camera on an employee. Is there nothing in the human that, like, we should just be a little more dignified and like not treat people like garbage at Walmart?
But the bottom line is, we used to be nice people. I mean, and now, because consumers are becoming increasingly unruly and unpredictable, so retail workers have to take these sorts of measures. And again, these are the same protective measures that cops and soldiers have to take.
Yeah. Everybody just take a deep breath. We're going to get a Coke and a hug, and everything's going to be okay.
Love is a battlefield.
Also, I'm not looking too hot going to Walmart. I don't need that on camera at eye level from an employee. No.
Well, don't go beating up any Walmart employees. You
Of
should be
course
fine.
not. Yeah.
But if it's just always on and recording.
I hear you.
ugh.
Totally hear you.
No thanks.